And we are back here at the 2019 ICF Canoe Freestyle World Championships. We are about to kick off the junior women's preliminary rounds here in Sort, Spain. I'm Anna Bruno, and I'm joined by Sage Donnelly, now in the senior women's class for her first year, but a former junior women. So awesome to have you commentating with us here today, Sage.
Yeah, it's great to be here. Excited to see what the junior women have in store for us today, and I think we're going to see some big rides and some high-scoring tricks.
Our first heat, we have Abby Goddard from Great Britain, Rina Aho from Finland, Emma Doyle from Ireland, Audie Robinson-Shaw from Great Britain, and Olivia McGuinness from the USA. We've got a few familiar names in that first heat. Two of our competitors in our first heat were actually atop of the podium, I believe, with you last year in Argentina. So I think you're right to say that we're going to see some big scores and some big tricks thrown down here.
That they were Audie from Great Britain taking the gold last year in junior women's, and Olivia McGuinness taking the bronze. So I think they're very high contenders for this junior worlds, and I'm honestly really excited to see what they have planned for the rides.
Me too. You can see Audie there in the Great Britain boat rocking the pink bib. You'll notice that several of our competitors have green bibs while others have pink. The pink signifies that they were one of our 3 medal finishers at the last Worlds. So they are competitors to be watching. See Team Ireland in the stands starting to cheer them on. The weather is hot here in Sort, but it hasn't deterred the teams and all the spectators from coming down, showing their support day after day, round after round, for the really impressive amount of athletes we have here this year.
Yeah, it's a huge amount of athletes. I think this is probably one of the biggest world championships I've seen in my years competing so far. And it's really cool to see everyone out here. It looks like so many family members, so many friends have come out to support the athletes, and it's just amazing to see. The environment's lovely, and we have great weather, so it's pretty awesome to be down here.
Yeah, I think one of the really cool things about this Worlds is that this is the first year each team was able to submit 3 spots for their junior women. So we do have more junior women athletes than before, which I think just increases the field and also just increases the level of competition.
Definitely, I think this is one of the biggest junior women's classes we've ever seen, and countries like GB actually got to send 4 because Audie had a pass into this world, so it's just amazing to see all the ladies out here.
See Abby warming up, smiling. For a lot of these competitors, it's going to be their first world championship, their first rides ever in an international competition of this scale. Sage, what does it feel like to be out there in that moment?
Your first Worlds, there's nothing else quite like it. There's nerves, excitement, just kind of, I don't know, for me, my first Worlds was in Canada, and it was just kind of this feeling of just awe, of just like, I'm here, I'm finally being able to compete, and you know, it's also a certain amount of focus as well. So there's a lot of thoughts and feelings running through each of these athletes' heads right now.
See smiles from Abby, our first paddler in the junior women's preliminary rounds from Great Britain as she's heading towards the feature. Loving seeing all the Great Britain t-shirts and the flags in the stands there.
Looks like she's going to start from surfer's right for her ride, an interesting approach. I think we've seen most athletes starting from surfer's left on the opposite side.
Yeah, no real advantage to either one, just whatever the athlete feels more comfortable with in terms of setting up their first move there. Abby spinning it around, looking to get some points on the board, starting off strong, maybe going for a loop, trying to get some air. Oh my God, almost going right for another one, almost unintentionally.
Just throwing super fast right there. I mean, 3 tricks in a matter of 10 or less seconds.
Solid first start for this women's heat here. Again, most of these athletes in the preliminary round are going to want to play it a little bit safe, get points on the board. Both rides count, and only 10.
It still looks like they're trying their best and, you know, really going for it. So it's cool to see.
It's good, and you know, I think for all these junior paddlers and any paddler out here, getting to compete and come and experience a feature like this is really just a building block. Rena with 10 points on her first ride, being rewarded for that spin. While our third paddler, Emma Doyle of Ireland, is in the feature, spinning it around non-stop there, catching an unfortunate edge. Again, nailing the most important trick.
Definitely. Looks like she already got some points on the board, which is really good. Has plenty of time to paddle back up, so we'll see if she can get back up there and maybe throw another spin, a loop.
You know, all these young paddlers or enemy paddlers got to have a lot of adrenaline going in this moment to
So much. This wave actually has given me so much adrenaline just in practice that I've had rides where I'm shaking when I get out.
I think, you know, you miss the wave, you try to roll up, you've only got 40 seconds, you got to make it back up to the top and try and get your best tricks in. We'll see if they give her that last spin initiated right on the buzzer. But her teammates look pretty proud of her regardless.
Oh, yeah. Those hats are legendary that the Irish team is wearing.
I know yesterday we had Canada Day, so all the Canadians were out in force. Today we've got Ireland representing hard.
In a few days, we have 4th of July.
There's going to be a lot of American flags kicking around that day, I think, for sure.
I have quite the outfit planned.
You could, and Emma with a score of 10 points on her first ride.
Man, it looks like we'll have a couple tiebreakers so far.
That is true. That's a good thing about 2 rides. You never know what's going to happen in round 2. Sometimes it just takes a while to get the jitters out, you know?
Oh, definitely. Ooh, get ready, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a big ride.
Yeah, Audley Robinson-Shaw, hailing from Great Britain. She's out here with her dad, Will, living out of a van. Spends a lot of time in Nottingham, training on the inlet gate and some of the really the best freestyle features in the world. Nottingham, where our future worlds will be. So we'll see how Audie does here. She's choosing to enter the feature from above, starting things off with an entry move. Oh, choosing to abort the entry move.
Yeah, she's normally so quick and fast to do that entry 3, but decides just to opt out, but already has massive points on the board with those both side McNasties.
With air. Really, I think Audie really bringing up the standard here in the women's class. An unfortunate flush. She's going to make her way back up the eddy. Working hard. I think one of the challenges of this past week for a lot of athletes has been there hasn't been a ton of opportunity to train for having to flush off the feature and paddle back in for your ride. There's been so many people waiting in line.
I think there hasn't really been much of an opportunity to train in general. It's like 1 ride every 45 minutes, but I mean, luckily...
Oh, maybe a huge Space Godzilla from Audie on that one, showing that she's clearly gotten enough training in to get the points on the board when it counts. How does it feel to be watching the junior women compete this year from a senior women's perspective?
It feels weird. I feel old. All these junior athletes keep coming up to me like I'm an adult. And I'm like, no, not yet.
Yeah, being in the senior women's class does not make me an adult. I just want to go kayaking.
Yeah.
I think that's a sentiment almost everybody here can relate to.
Yep.
Again, that instant replay of Audie with those air McNasties.
It's just lovely. I hope to get that much air on just one of my tricks.
You know, I've heard a lot of the senior men commenting on how impressed they are by Audie's McNasties.
Oh, she's an amazing, amazing paddler.
Yeah, really, really dynamic, explosive, and fun paddler to watch for sure. Really showing why she is the reigning world champion with that ride.
Oh, definitely. And I guarantee she only has more to go after that. That was just a warm-up.
Just feeling it out.
Yeah, just being chill.
Just looks like she's still trying to catch her breath after that ride. It is a workout being out there.
Oh, it is, especially in this hole. I feel like I can barely breathe afterward.
See the judges deliberating over scores. Each of these tricks has a very specific set of rules and definitions that the trick must meet in order to score with the judges. Where we're sitting right now is not the same perspective of the judges. What we're looking at is a little bit different. So we're calling tricks as we see them, but that does not mean that that is the trick the judges have chosen to score or reward.
And 496, solid start.
Solid start for Audie.
That's what she wants.
She looks happy with that.
Probably could make it through just with that ride, to be honest.
It's totally possible.
Oh, yeah. But if anyone could maybe challenge Audie a little bit, it could definitely be Olivia McGuinness, getting bronze last year at our Junior World Championships, and she's definitely been on fire during training this week. Yeah,
Olivia McGuinness from the USA, hailing from the Southeast. This girl spends most of her time at the Nantahala Outdoor Center at the NOC feature, starting things off strong with a beautiful McNasty right over the top, maybe getting air on that.
Not getting maybe as much air as Audie, but the one thing Olivia is very, very solid on all of her tricks. She pretty much, every time she throws them, she scores them no matter what.
It's something that amazes me. It sometimes looks like she's almost not even trying or doing anything at all, and I think Olivia is a paddler that you really see where technique comes into play.
Just like that, right there. Just
beautiful body position, beautiful Space Godzilla to the right. Oh no!
Unfortunately, catching a flush, but still, waves it off. That's how good she knows she is.
She's like, I'm all right with
I
this.
know, it's good. 2 McNasties a loop. That's fine, guys.
Her dad, Todd, out here along with friends, Mateo and Dom. Olivia's got a massive support crew cheering her on. Teammates and friends and family from the U.S.
I wish I could be that relaxed halfway through my ride.
I know. I was like, Olivia, teach me your skills.
I know.
She's like, I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, it's great to see, I think, the humbleness and the willingness to grow. Olivia's actually, I think, been challenging a lot of our senior women paddlers in the last few years. I know there's quite a few members of the team, myself included, that are kind of dreading next year.
Yeah, she was telling me, she was like, man, I wish I trained more before I came out to Spain. And I was just like, man, if you trained more, I think I would cry.
350 points, though, still a solid first ride score for Olivia.
Oh, yeah.
And that is going to bring us up to the top of our order here for Heat 1. So we'll be back with Abby Goddard of Great Britain.
Abby definitely throwing some solid rides in training. I've gotten to see a lot of the British team training this week, and no, she definitely has more in her than her first ride. So
you'll notice that Abby's actually paddling a carbon boat as opposed to the plastic boat from the last round. So a lot of the junior paddlers now even choosing to paddle carbon. They're a little bit lighter, a little bit more responsive.
Once you go carbon, you never go back. I swear every competition I've been in where I've used a plastic boat, since I got my carbon boat, I've lost. Unfortunately,
Abby's missing that second spin. That's right. Still got loads of time to get back up there. You can hear all her teammates just cheering her on. They know that she's capable of more. They want to see her perform it. That boat was actually paddled by one of Great Britain junior men at the last Worlds who podiums. Maybe that boat's going to bring Abby some luck.
Always nice to have a lucky boat.
Yeah, stays in the feature. Looking for the spin, maybe a roundhouse. Trying for a Space Godzilla. 4 seconds on the clock. What is she going to do with it?
Trying for that right spin again. This right corner can either make or break you. It is either so flushy or so sticky, and there's no in between. Unfortunately, Abby just getting that flushy side of it.
Yeah, you'll see a lot of the paddlers really using a strong rudder stroke to try and control their edge and stay in the feature. Abby, unfortunately, scoring no points on her second ride. So her combined score is going to stay that 13.
Yeah, not the ride she was wanting to score, I'd assume, but pretty good for your first World Championships.
I think so. I think it's a hard thing. You know, I think sometimes these scores don't feel representative of the efforts the paddlers are putting out there.
Definitely, but that's the name of the game. I mean, you've got to... Oh, wow. Right off the bat, just spinning it around.
Rena starting off strong, not wasting any time to get points on the board. She knows that every second counts of this 45-second ride here. Looking for the spin the other direction on that dangerous shoulder. Oh, we'll see what the judges say.
Still has a lot of time to paddle back in, though. Hopefully she can get back up and score that left spin again.
She's charging. You know, I didn't even start kayaking until I was older than most of these competitors here in our junior heat. Yeah.
Man.
Sometimes I'm a little envious of all these paddlers that are already here, already at this level, being competitive, gaining this experience. I feel like it just shows that the future of our sport is really in a strong place.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there it is, and right on the buzzer as well.
Awesome,
really nice
awesome
ride.
job from Rena Aho. Finnish team over there. We were commenting the other day that, you know, I had never thought of Finland as a place to go paddling, but there are, from what I hear, a lot of really good rivers and some really amazing features to train on.
That sounds great.
Rena with that big smile on her face and that replay there, realizing she nailed that spin.
Oh, look at that smile.
Yes!
A really good second ride.
That's what it's all about, just feeling that stoke. Getting your time here on this amazing feature in Sort, Spain. You can see the flags flying from all the different nations competing in this World Championship, along with our ICF flag. But right now, all eyes are on Emma Doyle of Ireland, dropping in from upstream of the feature. Is she going to go for an entry move? She does.
Nice.
She is still in the feature, trying not to waste any time. Looking to set up for maybe a shove it or a spin.
Such a good way to get points just right off the bat.
I know, you'll see a lot of, going for that spin move, trying for a rudder stroke, and unfortunately catching her edge.
Still is really close to the hole, though, so that she can get back up. Oh, maybe.
Demonstrating,
he's catching edges.
Demonstrating an air screw. One of those back deck rolls. You know, I think what's there's so much going on in a kayak that you just can't see.
It's hard. I've definitely had that. Just in any kind of kayaking, you have water all around you, you have noise. Especially in freestyle at World Championships, you have all sorts of bells and whistles and buzzers and cheering, and it's chaos. But I think that's what really separates some of our top athletes from some of the newer athletes, is their ability just to focus that sound out and just kayak.
Absolutely. Rena paddling back up the eddy. Oh, Emma, unfortunately, not scoring any points on that second ride, but still getting a high five from her teammates for a solid effort.
Oh, yeah, should be pumped with that.
Next up, we're going to have Audie Robinson-Shaw wearing that pink bib, our former or current junior world champion for the junior women.
Oh, yeah.
Audie, just a really strong paddler and a really strong competitor. I think very able to just focus out all that background noise, as you were saying.
When you watch her paddle in competitions, it's like, it's just normal for her. She doesn't look affected at all. And there's that entry
McNasty. Beautiful entry move. Trying to set up for the McNasty, spinning it around backwards.
Not quite feeling it. Ooh. Catches an edge. That's okay, though.
Audie actually competed in the squirt boat class earlier this week as well and earned herself a bronze medal. And that,
there's the McNasty.
Snappy McNasty right over the top. Looking for it the other direction. I have to say, I competed in squirt boat earlier this week, and you know, after they said, I felt like I did 8 hours of Pilates after not 7 minutes of kayaking, and I know Audie must be feeling a little bit tired herself here, but still putting a strong ride together.
Oh, nice ride. A cartwheel on the buzzer as well.
And then a loop just for fun.
Yeah, just for the crowd. We just didn't know how good she was before all that. She just needed to put the loop in.
You know,
a lovely paddler.
The loop is a crowd pleaser. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how many other tricks you do. The crowd just loves those aerial loops. High flying tricks. Audie looking at that McNasty from above. Look at the extension in her body as she reaches up. The boat coming completely out of the water. I would not be surprised if she gets a huge bonus on that one. Audie, 420 points in her second ride for a combined score of 916.67. Very, very impressive first preliminary round rides from young Audie Robinson-Shaw of Great Britain. Currently waiting her turn in the eddy, Olivia McGuinness. 350 points in her first ride, Olivia of the United States. Notice Olivia dealing with a wrist injury, actually wearing a brace on her wrist to try and support her during her paddling, but it hasn't seemed to affect her at all as she goes right for McNasty over the top. Beautiful first move. Just a really calm and composed, stylish paddler. She tries to set up for that offside McNasty. Opting out for a Space Godzilla instead. Shaking it off, staying calm, showing why she is really one of the paddlers to watch, having earned herself that pink bib last year in Argentina, going for a loop or maybe a space the other direction. So a loop is a forward front flip in the wave, whereas the Space Godzilla actually requires a 90-degree twist and air. Going for that other McNasty right on the buzzer. She is going to be happy with that. Shaking the water out of her ears there. I can see the blue stars of her USA Team PFD just underneath her bib. Replay of that amazing McNasty. Olivia, just a really strong, consistent paddler. Front loop. Yeah, I can hear Coach Clay chatting to her, trying to figure out what scored, what didn't score, giving her feedback, but I think she has got to be happy with that ride. you know, Olivia and Audie, both really strong examples of just the development in the junior women over the last few years, throwing tricks that are competitive not only with the senior women, but also some of the senior men's classes, which is not something we have seen until recently. Olivia's second ride, 396.67, 746.67. She should be pretty happy with that. That should keep her pretty high up on top of the leaderboard. We've got Audie at the end of this heat with 916, followed by Olivia, followed by Rinna, then Abby, and then Emma. And we're just going to take a quick break here and head to the mic zone for an interview.
All right, so Audie, this is your second World Championships. You're coming in as the current world champion. What's kind of running through your mind before your ride, and like walk me through your ride plan?
So today I felt a bit nervous. This is the first time competing like on a big stage since Worlds. So I had butterflies, and I think it shows slightly in my paddling. But hopefully when I relax and get into it, and I'm really excited for Friday now and looking forward to it.
And what would you tell your fellow competitors that maybe it's their first World Championships? What advice would you give them?
I think as long as you enjoy it, you'll put the hard work in the winter, and then you'll get so much better paddling, and then you're going to get good.
Awesome. Well, thank you, and good luck on Friday.
And we are back here still in Sort, Spain for the 2019 ICF Canoe Freestyle World Championships. If you are just joining us, we are here with the junior women's preliminary rounds. We've just had heat 1, and now we're moving on to preliminary round number 2. We're gonna have 5 paddlers in this heat. We're getting some replay here of our first heat. That's young Rinna Aho from Finland and Abby Goddard of Great Britain. What you're seeing here on your screen at home is also playing on the big screen right in the middle of our stadium here. So these athletes actually get to see themselves kayaking on the big screen. There's something really, really special about that. You know, I always like to talk about how just impressive it is just to see the caliber of young athletes here, and how awesome it is to see all of the families that are out here supporting and joining their juniors. And you know, a lot of these kids started paddling because of their parents or because their families got them into it. But we can talk a little bit more about that in just a minute. As we wait for our heat number 2 of the junior women's preliminary rounds to get underway here. Sage, how did you start kayaking?
Well, my parents actually learned to kayak for their honeymoon. I'm one of those raised in kayaking kids. So when I was born, they just put me in the front of a 2-person boat, and then just kind of kept pushing me from there.
That's awesome. I know I've seen both of your parents around here still supporting you, still cheering you on, and hopefully getting some time on the water themselves. But for now, all of these parents' eyes are turned to watching their kids paddle. Our first paddler in this heat number 2 of the junior women is going to be Arbolo Rafael Olivio from Spain. I'm guessing I can see some of her friends and family cheering already. Really strong Spanish team this year.
Definitely a strong Spanish team. It's been great watching them train, and I'm sure it's lovely for all of them to be in their home spot and able to really represent in front of their home crowd. So
I think
cool to see.
It's one of the really amazing things about when a venue gets to host a world championship is the development that goes into building and creating a feature also goes a really long way towards helping develop and grow the sport in the region or in the country. I know that SORT also hosted the World Cups last year, and you could see a lot of paddlers kind of getting into it last year, and now really just knowing that they've got that entire year to practice, to train, to get fired up on kayaking before this world championship.
Oh, definitely, that's got to be great. And there is one thing though, this feature was finished about 3 weeks before this actual competition, so there really is no hometown advantage.
It's true. It's even for all those paddlers that came out early to try and get all their practice rides in. We've all been dealing with a feature that's been being perfected A big shout out to Oriel of Kayak Sort for all his hard work, as well as all the many volunteers that put their time and effort in to really make this place look as great as it does.
Oh, and it looks fantastic. The feature is fun. They've successfully created just a challenging and fun hole all at the same time. So it's honestly great to be out here.
As I've been chatting with a lot of the locals, and they're all like, man, we can't wait for this World Championship to be over so we can go kayaking.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. They've created, I believe, such a nice spot just to, bring the family down, bring your friends down, and, just paddle all day.
I know, if you paddle downstream, you can see all the local families chilling out by the river, trying to keep cool, having picnics. Really, really nice vibe here.
And here we have our local girl about to drop in and compete in her first ride. I was about to say first World Championships. I'm not entirely sure.
Starting things off with a nice entry move.
Very snappy.
Working to retain the feature.
She definitely has been training hard.
Moving right into a spin, maybe trying to link it into a cartwheel. Yeah, that is a strong start.
Unfortunately, just catching that right flush that I was talking about. Has a long way up, but still has time.
It is a long way up. I think we were timing it in team trainings, and it usually takes between 10 and 15 seconds to make your way back up to the eddy. 15 seconds, that's
almost your whole ride.
Yeah, at least a third.
45-second ride to 15-second paddle up is a lot. And then you're also winded by the time you get back up, so it is so hard to throw tricks after that.
It's so hard to keep that composure, stay calm, slow down, and unfortunately that is time. But still, beautiful entry move, couple of spins, maybe a cartwheel end in there. Hopefully she's happy with that first ride here.
Definitely should be. It was a solid start. Hopefully she won't catch that flush on the next one and rack up even more points.
They call that entry move an entry wing over, as opposed to the entry move you saw Audie doing in the last round, that entry McNasty. So 2 different styles of entry move, 3 different levels of entry move for 3 different levels of points to score. We'll see what the judges choose to reward her for that one. But
yeah, we'll have to see. There's 3 different types of entry moves for our listeners out there. There's an entry 1, which is a non-aerial wing over entry. There's an entry 2, and getting a 56.67, a solid start. I think that's one of the higher first rides we've seen so far.
Definitely one of the higher first rides we've seen so far. But I know that she's going to be looking to try and get one of those big aerial tricks, maybe a loop, a space, or McNasty in for her next ride.
Oh yeah, for sure. And our next athlete is Mayo from Great Britain. And Mayo actually would like everyone to know that she actually suffers from a syndrome that makes her joints randomly dislocate. So she paddles in zebra stripes to help raise awareness for invisible diseases. So a super inspiring athlete right here.
Absolutely, yeah. I think it's Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. And Mayo, also competing for Great Britain as a junior last year, has really, really been working hard to improve her paddling these last 2 years. And just, I've seen a ton of growth from her as an individual athlete on the water.
Oh, so much. Yeah, she's been training very hard up in Nottingham.
Looking for a loop or maybe a space, unfortunately flushing out.
That pesky rock that's in there.
I gotta say, I really like Mayo's style here. Not only the zebra stripes, as you pointed out, to raise awareness, but also just the color coordination, the pink, black, and blue.
Oh, she's killing the color coordination. I wish I could look that good on the water.
You're pretty color coordinated.
I try.
Orange and blue?
Orange and blue, but it's kind of annoying because all my blues don't quite match each other. They're just slightly off.
You gotta look good, feel good, paddle good, you know? It's a tough balance to find. That replay of Mayo going for that Space Godzilla. Unfortunately, you can see finishing just behind the bubble line.
Oh,
she's laughing, she's still smiling. Her family's out here. Mayo, what really, really, really nice family, nice girl.
And lovely. They're always, when I was in Nottingham, they would come down and actually camp at the course, and every time I showed up, they would feed me. Just casually be like, oh, here's dinner. I'd get home and be like, well, I don't have to cook anymore. This is great.
It's one big kayaking family here in the kayak community, especially in freestyle. We've got Charlotte Maniers dropping in. I saw her coach and teammate Marlene just before being a little bit stressed because she couldn't find her athlete.
Oh no,
so I'm glad that is
not what you want to do. Luckily she's here though, so we know that they found each other.
I hear Marlene yelling at her, cheering her on. She's gonna have to work her way back up to Eddie. Still has time to score. Put some points on the board. Team France.
Can't wait for the Team France to show up with their drums for finals. That's always fun.
Team France is definitely one of the teams that really rivals Ireland in terms of most stoke, most team support, and just general volume and enthusiasm.
Definitely. I think every single World Championships I've been to, even all the way down in Argentina, they have always had a drum and horns.
Yeah. Basically a band. Yeah, America, we just have the flags. We let our flags speak for themselves.
Yeah, we don't even bring flags anymore, actually. We just wear them on our bodies. I saw one of our men's athletes, Hayden Voorhees, walk up with a massive eagle on his shirt today with sunglasses that had flags in the sunglasses' eyes, so. And unfortunately, getting a 0 on her first ride.
Right, another Spanish paddler here, Silvia Gallego.
Oh, yeah. You can hear all the locals in the crowd really getting hyped. A massive wing over.
Man, yeah, these girls need to teach me how to do that. That was impressive.
I just keep flushing on mine.
I've seen her paddling a lot this week, actually, and I've been really impressed with some of her rides. You know, it's actually getting difficult to tell who are the juniors and who are the senior women.
It really is. Going over for the Felix.
Nice. So one of those,
super snappy. Wow.
Another spin. Maybe looking for a clean spin even. Felix actually originating as a wave move, being adapted to a hole. That is not the easiest move to pull off in this feature.
It really isn't. I've seen many of the women paddlers even struggling with it because they keep getting their stern stuck in that green water and just flushing, but
really, really well executed. They're looking for a McNasty.
Yeah, just no problem with it.
Still solid first ride here.
Yeah.
For Silvia.
Stoked with that.
Shaking it off. Let's watch this replay of that amazing entry wing over. That was
massive.
Really impressive. Just beautifully textbook executed. They're going to be showing clips of that to future judges to explain exactly what a wing over should look like, I'm sure.
Definitely. Our next athlete, another local, Ona. I met Ona actually last year at European Championships, so second year for her on the Spanish team.
Yeah, I recognize Ona's face for sure. I've seen her around. Sage, how many of these athletes also do slalom? Have you seen any of these young girls on the slalom circuit as well?
I actually have not. I don't think it's very common. I think there's a few out there that have done slalom and kind of converted over to freestyle, but I can't say there's really anyone who is doing both right now.
Yeah, Sylvia's score of 106. That should put her at the top of the leaderboard for this round.
Solid, yes.
Very, very solid. Next up, we've got Ona dropping in from Spain. Again, trying for that entry wing over. Unfortunately, just missing it. Moving over to the Eddie.
Super strong paddle strokes back up to the top, though. She can make that boat move.
Yeah, she is strong. She wants this. She's here, hometown, Sort, Spain, wants to show off what she's got. Trying for a spin, unfortunately catching the edge, missing that roll up and having to roll around all the way over to the other side.
That looked like quite the hard wipeout there.
I know this is not the ride she wants, but she's still got some time to see if she can make it back up. I can hear the crowds cheering her on. They want this for her just as much as she does.
Definitely just 5 seconds on the buzzer. What will she go for? Plugs for
Space Godzilla.
Oh, just flushing on it.
We'll have to see what the judges have to say about that. But still, solid composure. Way to try for that last trick right on the buzzer.
It's so hard to get those last tricks right when the buzzer's about to go off because you're rushing it. You're trying to go as fast as you can and get it started before the actual buzzer goes. And sometimes it happens and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, unfortunately, just missing out on scoring that trick.
That's okay. She's going to go back up and reset.
You know, a Space Godzilla at 90 points. If she gets one Space Godzilla in her next ride, that could still be enough to put her through into that top 10 cut. So, nothing to be too stressed about just yet.
All right, we're back to the start making an entry move on her first ride and does it again, straight into an air wheel.
Oh my goodness. Retaining the feature, really trying to sell that trick. It may not have been everything she intended, but it was a trick.
Definitely. And
Going
a
for the
high-scoring trick at that. Wow! Almost does a cartwheel out of a Felix. I believe that was more of a squirt boating move. A little bit of a party trick there.
It was almost a party trick. I don't even know what just happened. This is going to be a strong young paddler to watch in the future. I am sure of it.
Definitely. Just the speed that she's throwing tricks is amazing.
6 seconds left. What is she going to do? Trying for that Felix again.
Can she? Oh, just misses rolling it up.
Going for the
almost
facer.
Going for a double Felix.
That should be a trophy move.
That should definitely be a trophy move. Those are impressive and very hard to do.
And you have to hold your breath for a really long time.
Definitely.
Which I need to practice more.
You're a squirt boater. You should be good at that.
Yeah, actually, fun fact, I hate getting wet.
You are in the wrong sport, and I hate to break it to you.
You'll see some of these paddlers out here wearing skins. I'm almost always in a dry top. I don't like when the water touches my skin.
Are you the kind of paddler that goes like in a full dry suit in the summer?
No, I try not to unless it's raining.
Okay, unless it's raining.
Oh no, with a 133, sorry, not Arbolo, a 190 combined score.
Should be pretty happy with that. I think that should be enough to make the first cut.
She looks a little bit confused, but happy.
I bet it is confusing over there though, because it's so hard to see your score from that screen.
I remember talking to Eric Jackson about this once also, just about coming off of your ride and just being like, what just happened? That total blackout mode of did I do any tricks? But now up in the feature, Mayo Ray Cross from Great Britain, representing those zebra stripes. Growing awareness for invisible diseases as she's carving around, looking to set up, maybe going for that spin, nice and slow and controlled, taking her time.
Definitely in control. Look at that front surf she is pulling off. I don't think I've sat there with that much control in this feature at all. And there's the front loop.
Maybe a space gazelle. She goes for the next one.
Oh, stay in there, stay in there. Oh. Just catches the flush, but still, good, solid points on the board so far.
I hope the judges give that one to her. That looked beautiful to me. It's nice to see her just taking her time, setting up. You'll see so many paddlers starting to get a little bit rushed, a little bit flushed, and just throwing off their timing.
Definitely does. I actually have been having a hard time with my timing just during team training even, because we are practicing our competition rides, and I felt myself really rushing through all of the tricks, and it's just so hard sometimes to stop yourself and be like, okay, slow down, score the tricks.
Just remembering that 45 seconds is all yours. You know, it's important, I think, just to be able to sit back, relax, and enjoy it, just like we saw Mayo doing there with that amazing front surf, controlled, setting up, taking her time. I hope she's happy with that. Oh, getting a score of 6.67. Oh, again, sometimes these scores don't reflect the hard work and the effort that the paddlers have put into getting here.
Definitely.
But, you know, at the end of the day, it's a minute and a half of your life here at the World Championships in these preliminary rounds, and I know that Mayo's got a long future in kayaking ahead of her. And
definitely.
Hoping to see her back out here.
And we're back with Charlotte from France. Fortunately, already catching a flush, but I believe a flush towards the beginning of the ride is almost better than a flush towards the end, so should get back up there with plenty of time to throw some more tricks.
And you can hear the French team cheering her on. Really nice to see the French bringing some juniors out with them this year, building the future of their team. Because again, all of this is just experience, isn't it, for the future? Oh, getting a spin on the corner. Maybe trying for a shove it, or just having so much fun spinning she wants another one.
You know, those spins are actually such a fun trick. You can make them so snappy and just clean and nice.
It's unfortunate that you can only score each trick once per ride in each direction. So if you've already done a left spin,
gotta go for that right.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how much fun it is or how good it feels. You gotta spread the love out to all these tricks on the score sheet.
Oh yeah.
I'm loving this slow motion replay, and I hope the athletes get a chance to watch themselves on the big screen after their rides.
Oh yeah. definitely a fun part of freestyle is getting to see that slow motion of your ride afterward. I will say though, normally my slow motions are always of me just pulling the strangest faces.
I actually got a message from a friend today that said, good luck with your rides, and I hope you don't pull any really awkward faces on the screen. Thanks for thinking of me and knowing what really matters. All right. Next up is Silvia Gallego from España.
Had a super snappy, fast first ride and starts off the same.
Strong entry move, getting points on the board from get-go. Beautiful spin to the right, carving her way across the feature, looking to maybe go up to the other shoulder for the other spin. Oh, just kidding, going for the Felix.
Man.
That is a trick that has to be performed halfway upside down. Going for the McNasty
There's the
air.
McNasty. Beautiful.
You can see her setting up and trying for that feature last ride, but just playing it safe, playing it smart. Oh, this is an excellent ride for Silvia.
Come on, Silvia, one more trick.
She surfs it around, spins it around. What is she going to go for? Maybe a loop, maybe a cartwheel. Oh, and that will be her ride.
A lovely ride, though.
You know, I was talking to head judge Paul Shepard yesterday, asking just what his favorite part about these competitions is. And he was saying that it's really just that unexpected element. Occasionally just get a powder that maybe you haven't really kept close enough eyes on, and they just really pull out a trick or demonstrate some skill that surprises you. 240 points for Silvia. Really, really strong ride. 346 combined. She looks stoked, and she should be. And hear the crowd cheering as our third Spanish junior, Ona from España, I think here from Sort, Spain, is about to drop onto the feature. Ona, unfortunately, not quite scoring her tricks on her first ride. Going for that entry move and sticking it. Excellent. Yes, we're off to a way stronger start. She's going to be feeling a little bit more relaxed about that. She tries to spin it around, but then tries to almost Jedi flip her way back into the hole. Ona demonstrating that really strong forward stroke that comes from living on a river of quality that there is here in Sort, Spain. Oh no, maybe just missing the feature, having to cross over to the other side. That's all right. Can still catch the wave from river right. She's charging her way back up the eddy. 10 points. Last time she had only just a few moments to try and get a trick on the board and tried for that Space Godzilla. What is she going to go for this time? Looking for the McNasty and unfortunately just missing it. Ona shaking her head as she heads over to the river right to await for her scores. But still, really, really beautiful entry move on the replay there. Starting off strong. We'll see how the judges choose to reward her scores. Every year, the level of competition really does increase and get higher for these junior women. You know, I think when the World Championship was here in Sort, Spain in 2001, it was probably only a spin and a shove it that was needed to really make your way into the top 3 or top 5, and just to see the growth in the last 20 years is really incredible. 51.67. She's got a smile. Let's hope that she can make it through the top 10 and show her hometown what more she has to offer. See the stands looking just a little bit empty here in the heat, but I know that there's loads of athletes watching on the live stream from the shelter of their hotel rooms and even from the pool of their various hotels. We got quite a few photos popping up yesterday as teammates showed their supports for their fellow athletes, if not from right here in the stadium, but from afar. And here we are, Silvia Gallego leading the first heat, but we're gonna head over to the mic zone for an interview with Sage.
Silvia, so first of all, congratulations. You had some huge rides out there. How are you feeling going into the competition today?
I'm so happy. I don't know, it's so fun.
That's awesome. And what is your plan for your tricks that you want to throw going into semifinals?
I think the same.
And could you walk us through maybe what some of your bigger tricks were today?
What?
Sorry. The tricks you were throwing today, could you just tell us a little bit about them? All right. Sorry, I need to improve my Spanish next time. So are you excited for Friday?
Yeah.
Well, good luck.
Thank you.
Sylvia there just overwhelmed and stoked to, I think, paddle as well as she had there. And also this interview really maybe showcasing just the benefits of having an international event come to your hometown, getting to meet all these other athletes from around the world, build connections, hopefully build friendships that you can, you know, build on and go and visit people around the world to paddle in other places, learn some more languages. Oh, I see a great sign there. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, it may be said, from one of the family members of an athlete in our next heat. So we are moving into Heat 3 of our preliminary round for the junior women here at the 2019 ICF Canoe Freestyle World Championships in Sort, Spain. This will be our final heat of the junior women. We have 16 athletes cutting down to 10 for the semifinal round. So 2 rides, both rides count.
Super important for sure to try and make this cut. The idea is to make it through to the next round. These ladies are absolutely phenomenal at throwing fantastic freestyle moves. It takes a lot of athleticism, but also it's kind of like a gymnastics moves, but thrown in with a little bit of face surfing action with the beatdown of the whitewater. These ladies, though, are showing how composed they can be to be able to stay in top of the feature and throw down those moves. Anna, what a beautiful day it is today.
It is absolutely stunning here in Sort, Spain. A nice cool breeze just taking the edge off the heat wave we've had this past week. And really just enjoying the sunshine with a tiny bit of cloud cover.
Absolutely. You are watching the 2019 ICF Canoe Freestyle World Championships. We're coming to you live right now from Sort, Spain, in the heart of the Pyrenees Mountains. Either side of us, there are just massive mountains rising for this river. Just a beautiful place. And I'll also like to take a moment to take a word from our sponsor.
And we are back here waiting for Heat 3 of the junior women to start in Sort, Spain. I see Katie Fankhauser of the USA's support team cheering her on there. Little sign, follow at katie.kayak on Instagram. You can never have too many Instagram followers these days.
Definitely. I believe Katie has actually started kind of a trend with the U.S. team. We've noticed Abby Holcomb, Nick Troutman, and a couple other paddlers actually now putting their Instagram handles on their kayaks.
When the social life becomes the real life.
Oof,
but
it's scary.
Yeah, Katie's going to be one of 6 paddlers in our 3rd and final preliminary round of the junior women here. We should get a heat list up shortly. I would, however, like to point out that one of my favorite things about watching the junior women is that I think there's a fallacy that you need to be really, really strong to be good at kayaking. And not that these young women aren't strong, because if you've seen Katie, you would know what I'm talking about. But I think what people don't see is that there's so much technique involved in this sport, the finesse of being able to find your timing and make these tricks work, that's sometimes more important than just brute strength.
It definitely is. It's much more important to have the proper technique to bring around a move than it actually is to muscle a move, because I found the more you muscle a move, the less it actually scores. So it's important to be strong so you can not get tired during those 45 seconds, but it's also crucial to have that technique dialed.
And up here we are, we have a heat list up. We've got Annika Schaefer of Germany, Meryl Hauser also from Germany, Jennifer Leal of Great Britain, Katie Fankhauser of the USA, followed by Abby Holcomb of the USA, and Nelly Barwich of Germany. So there will be 6 paddlers in this 3rd and final round of our junior women here at the 2019 ICF Canoe Freestyle World Championships in Sort, Spain. They get an extra minute of rest there, don't they?
Wow, yes. I just went down for Sylvia's interview, and they told me that I had 8 minutes to interview her for, and that
8 minutes.
That was a lot. I was not prepared for that many questions.
Yeah, that was good. I think Sylvia was just a little overwhelmed and stoked with how she paddled.
Definitely.
Couldn't process all your questions anyway. That our first paddler here in preliminary heat number 3 of the junior women, Annika Schaefer of Germany, rocking those German colors and on her dry top. Going to spin it around, starting things off strong, points on the board, repeating that spin just to make sure, or maybe just because it felt good. Carving over the other shoulder, looking for that other spin. So to score their spin, paddlers must complete 360 degrees of rotation in one continuous movement. It sounds simple, but it's not.
It's definitely not. It's really easy to get either of your edges caught and flip over. Easy to not actually get the full 360 and get stalled and then not score points on the board. So she's completed both, it appears, to definition. So definitely has some good points on the board so far.
She knows it, going for that loop.
Fortunately catching the flush, but I'm sure she'll be back for more.
Still, not a bad first ride for Annika. You know, when it comes down to a lot of these paddlers, we're seeing a lot of really similar moves. We're seeing some similar scores. Again, 2 rides, both count. So each trick is going to matter. Each little trick can make a big difference. Annika coming in with 20 points, showing that she definitely nailed those 2 spins. But again, those entry moves, maybe a shove it, even a cartwheel, little tricks can really add up here in these preliminary rounds to separate you out from the bottom to the top.
Definitely. My dad has actually been talking to me about my prelim plan, and we've actually kind of backed off of my original ride plan a bit just to take up those tricks and be safe.
Yeah, play it safe, keep it smooth. We've got Morlhauser from Germany playing it safe and really starting off strong with a beautiful aerial front loop, almost getting a back loop. Oh, just not retaining the feature. There's that moment, isn't it, where you roll up and you're like, am I in, am I not in, is it there? Like,
yeah, I actually had the chance to talk to Merle during training in one of the very long lines waiting for a ride. And she was so excited to be out here and was really wanting to just score like both her spins and a loop and some cartwheels. So it looks like she's really ticking through that quickly.
Starting off strong.
Maybe going
for a space.
Godzilla. Oh.
Yeah, as you said, a lot of these athletes have their ideal ride plan in their head and they're just hoping to make it happen. And then sometimes you get right in the perfect spot in the feature, and sometimes you just got to make the best of what you have.
Definitely.
And you really see that's when all the training really starts to pay off, is when you can just react to where your boat is and make a trick happen regardless. That comes back to that strength and technique combo. Look at that beautiful front loop.
Textbook.
You'll see after she landed, she maybe landed a little bit sideways, but hopefully putting some points on the board with that first ride.
And it looks like she did.
70 points.
The judges have
spoken?
The judges have spoken, yes, no, but the judges have the job of deciding whether each of these tricks land in a very tight angle. So we have 20 degrees from upstream where we can land all of our aerial tricks. So
again, where we're watching from,
you have to be on it with your line of sight and everything. So
yeah, where we're watching from, again, is not the same angle as the judges. So what we are calling as tricks does not mean these athletes are scoring them. As Jen from Great Britain goes for those spins over on the surfer's left-hand shoulder, carving her way out, unfortunately cashing the flush. Jen representing the British flag, both on her top deck as well as her kayak there. I see her name on the back. That's useful. Thanks, Jen.
I always thought that they just put their names there in case they hit their head and just had to remember.
Yeah, either that or if someone stole their boat, they could find it easily.
That as well. That's probably smarter than my idea.
Lot of kayakers in England, you know. You can't trust them. No. Jen getting some points on the board, taking a deep breath, catching her breath. Definitely that face of, oh my goodness, what just happened? I can see her looking back onto the live stream to see what her tricks look like. Because there is that disconnect of what your trick can feel like versus what it actually looks like.
Oh, definitely. it can be kind of sad to go out and think you're throwing great tricks and then not quite getting them the way you were thinking you were. And
Jen getting a
3.33, not a horrible start. Could be worse.
You'll see that we do have 3 judges, so occasionally when those scores aren't those perfect round even numbers, it often means that one judge may have seen a trick whereas another one didn't. So that is the benefit of having 3 judges. Next up is young Katie Fankhauser from the USA. Katie, I believe, finishing in the top 5 at the last World, so also a paddler to watch.
Oh, yeah.
American flags all over her helmet.
Yeah, she's also a very, very accomplished cross-country athlete. I believe placing
state champion for her home state of Colorado in the cross-country events.
Amazing all-around athlete right here.
Pole vaulter, gymnast, just a really, really strong, going for that trademark.
Creator. She calls that the Skippy Rippy. We don't know how to classify it, but it does count as an entry move.
Trying for a McNasty. Katie, one of the, beautiful McNasty from Katie Fankhauser, working to spin it around. Katie, one of the smaller paddlers out there on the water, but certainly not suffering in terms of strength or technique. And she has really, really been working to make this feature her own, going for one of her trademark huge loops. Just really snappy and dynamic.
Oh, yeah. A great athlete. She's just ticking through her ride. Maybe goes for a Felix there.
While trying to work her way back to the top of the feature. I'm not sure how she did that.
Other side,
really wanting to sell that McNasty.
Wow.
Strong first ride from Katie, showing that she really wants to be on top of the podium. I see her sisters and family, parents, friends, Katie Kellogg, really showing that they also want her on top of that podium.
Katie actually, I believe, dating Dally Kellogg, so having the full support of that 12-member family.
And Dally currently sitting in the #1 spot for the junior men going into semifinals. So this could be a power couple.
Power couple for sure. I believe they both actually won freestyle national championships, or junior national championships this year as well.
You know, I think, you see the Kellogg family, 12 kids, and so many strong paddlers coming out of Colorado. One of our other juniors from the U.S., Riley Frank, 466.67. Wow. She is so stoked. But there's a lot to be said for having someone to train with, having someone to push you, having someone to help coach you.
Definitely.
As you improve.
And Katie actually looks like challenging Audie's rides there a bit.
That was
more competition this year.
Really, really solid first ride from Katie.
And here we have Abby. Abby's like my adopted little sister. She, I've known her since she was tiny. It's so cool to finally have her out here. First year she's old enough to make team, and look at that. McNasty right off the bat.
Starting strong with the McNasty, looking in that beautiful, shiny, sparkly, glittery carbon boat.
Oh my goodness, yes. I'm a little bit surprised her boat hasn't blinded anyone yet.
Yeah, or her helmet. She's going again for that matching look good, feel good, paddle good, color coordination style. Abby's parents, Kathy and Peter, are both out here in Sort, Spain, professional photographers. The family actually lives in a Winnebago. They have shipped their Winnebago over to Europe from the U.S. to travel around and kayak in Europe for the next 6 months.
Yes, it sounds like an amazing trip, going literally all over Europe. They've been asking everyone for suggestions on where to go, so it's going to be fun.
If you've got any suggestions on where the Holcomb should paddle, definitely message them at Famagogo or on Instagram or Facebook. I know they'd love to hear all of your suggestions. Abby going for that Space Godzilla to the right. Abby's only 15 years old, or turned 15 this past May.
Yep.
So one of our younger junior women. To be a junior in an ICF Freestyle World Championship, you must have turned 15 the year of the Freestyle World Championship, and you can only compete as a junior until the year you turn 18. So really, really limited time for these young paddlers to try and show off their best.
Yeah, it is actually the year you turn 19 that you officially age out, so you do get to compete
the year you are 18,
which is quite lovely, I will say.
That is good. Abby's first ride, 260 points. That should put her comfortably through to the top 10.
Definitely.
Just see Coach Claire O'Hara of Great Britain down there giving her a hug. We got the thumbs up from Paul Shepard for our head judge, for Neely Barwich, our 6th paddler from Germany. Nelly starting from downstream. She will choose to ferry on to the feature.
Looks like she might set up for the spin.
Looking to
There
spin it
is.
around. Again,
No problem at all.
points on the board here are going to repeat that spin. Oh, no. Unfortunately, flushing. See German flags waving in support for her. She is working her way back to the top, charging hard. She wants it.
Oh, yes, definitely. All these athletes, as soon as you flush, all your body wants to do is get back up into that hole.
Oh, no, unfortunately, flushing on her. She goes for her second spin. Is she going to try and make her way back up to the top, or is she going to wave it off, save energy for her next ride?
Looks like she might be going for it, but unfortunately might not have enough time, and that's the buzzer.
Sometimes these 45 seconds seem to last forever, and other times they just go way too fast.
For me, it's usually way too fast.
Same. Again, really diverse talent field coming out of the junior women's class this year. A lot of strong rides so far from our 16 paddlers. I think there's going to be a little bit of a divide when it comes to making that top 10. I think these, a lot of paddlers are going to be kind of watching this last heat here, crossing their fingers and hoping that their scores are going to be enough to get them through.
Yeah, for sure. The waiting is always rough, just watching yourself on that scoreboard, either staying where you are or ticking down.
Yeah, Nelly with 10 points there, so getting some points on the board, still putting herself in a good position to set up for her second ride. See the camera panning across her, these amazing boom cams as Annika from Germany drops in for ride number 2.
Oh yeah, solid first ride. It
Starting
looks
up.
like all the Germans have a pretty similar ride plan, all starting off with that left spin first.
You can really start to see different styles or techniques and composure, see who's been training together, who's been working on what tricks together, how people learn. Going for a loop. Nice. This is a great start to Annika's second ride here. Showing just excellent control. You can see her boat is barely moving as she side surfs across the feature. Spinning around, retaining the feature. Going for maybe a Space Godzilla. Somehow she's still in there in the magic spot. Really going for that Space Godzilla. Unfortunately flushing out this time.
A solid ride though. That could probably get her through.
Strong ride from Annika of Germany. Replay of that loop. Just watching the boat come over the top, nice and straight. She sits up to control it. Next up is going to be Merle Hauser, also from Germany. And pretty cool that these young athletes get to support each other in their own heats. All three paddlers. Oh, 90-point ride, putting her with 110. She looks pleased with that.
Yeah, definitely. She's stoked. Coach is stoked. Such a good feeling.
Yeah. And it is, we had all three Spanish paddlers in the second heat. We've got all three German paddlers in this last heat. And just really cool to see the support the athletes are giving each other, even while they're competing for a spot in that top 10.
See, that is one thing I absolutely love about freestyle is we're all so supportive of each other while competing, while not competing, if we get knocked out, if we move on. It's a family.
It is. You really want to do as best you can, but you also want to see your friends do the best they can. And that level of support is, I think, really unique to this sport. Freestyle by far not the only style of kayaking out there or competitive kayaking out there. Extreme racing, creek racing, flatwater racing, slalom racing, extreme slalom racing.
No, that's boatercross. We don't call it extreme slalom.
Either way, there's a lot of ways to have fun on the water.
Oh, definitely. And there's that loop. That was textbook.
That
just
was.
straight over her head.
Maybe even getting the air bonus on it.
For sure. Those bonuses are so nice to tick up, just really upping your score that much more.
Spinning around in the corner, maybe trying for a McNasty on that last one.
Like
She's like, all right, I got the tricks I know I can do. It's time to try the tricks that no, I want to do. Yeah, good, strong, solid ride from Merle of Germany.
Gosh, she should definitely be excited for that.
There's something about watching the loop. It just never gets old, does it?
Oh, never. It never gets old doing it either. It's just such a satisfying trick.
Just like to take a moment to give a shout out and a thank you to Clay Wright, our current squirt boat world champion and actually the inventor of the loop. Merle coming with a score of 100 points for a combined score of 170.
Nice.
Yeah.
There's Abby's dad, actually, Peter Holcomb, with the big camera.
Looking to get the perfect shot
Oh,
of
definitely.
Abby and all the rest of the competitors.
Abby's life is definitely documented a bit more than I think all of ours are.
Yeah, and you know, it's okay. I don't envy her for it. But I think,
next up we have Jennifer from Great Britain.
yep.
I saw her training a lot when I was over there in the UK the last few months. Excited to see what she has to show us.
Looking to really show off those spins, sell those spins to the judges, maybe trying for a McNasty or just trying to retain the feature. Doing what we call a window shade.
I still wish the window shade was worth points.
Me too. You know, I was talking to Tomas Kopinski about it, one of our senior men competitors, and he likes to call it the side loop.
The side loop. I like that.
So,
I'm gonna start calling it that.
Oh.
Space Godzilla.
going for the Space
Wow.
Godzilla. To score these tricks, you need to kind of land in control. We'll see what the judges have to say about that one, but showing that the tricks are there as she goes to set up for maybe that McNasty or a
Just
shove it, and that will
Doesn't
be
get it in
her
time,
rides.
But that's okay. That was really solid again.
You know, good to see, as you said, 3 other junior women from Great Britain here really trying to develop that talent field. I think Great Britain does a really phenomenal job with their coaching program, with their development programs. They often bring out alternates on their team, or they have practices for the team in the UK where they really try and develop a strong junior team, knowing that that will hopefully feed into having a strong senior team.
Oh, definitely, and that is, I think, worked out from them. A bunch of their junior men actually aging up this year, and I believe Matt, who was in top 5 in Argentina juniors last year, is on their C1 team now, in one of the top spots in C1, and their other senior has yet to compete, but Harry actually getting one of the medals and coming out strong in the men's team as well, so definitely a good strategy they have as a country for training. And
It does. You get that thumbs up from Paul Shep, our head judge. Shep just bringing a lot of positivity and enthusiasm and smiles to that judge's stand. Katie Fankhauser dropping in of the USA. You can see it represented on her helmet. Look at the concentration in her eyes. Katie, a fierce athlete, fierce competitor, going for that skippy-rippy entry move, the one, the only. Oh no, unfortunately catching an edge, but maintaining her spot in the feature. Looking to set up the McNasty, bring it over the top.
wow.
Spinning it around, maybe looking to set up the other McNasty. I'm telling you, these girls of the USA are really making me both excited and scared for the future of our team. We're gonna have to step up our game here.
It's just exciting for me. I love seeing athletes move up and improve, and it's so cool to see and help with and be a part of.
It is. Katie's beautiful spin there. Going for one of those loops or Space Godzillas, but unfortunately you could see her bow tapping the rock in the bottom of the feature.
Yeah, she's good with that ride, though, too. Very, very good rides from Katie, so.
Again, 2 rides, both count. Katie should be comfortably through to the final, or the semifinal, excuse me, on the score of her first ride alone, but still decides to throw one of those powerful snappy McNasties just to secure her spot in that top 5. I think it is going to be a competitive year for the junior women.
It definitely is. It's very cool to see how when I first became a junior woman, it was on U.S. team. It was pretty much just like a loop, maybe a McNasty to medal, and now it's McNasty's, loops, Space Godzillas. It's so cool.
Katie with a 346.67, total combined score of 813. That should place her pretty high up going into the semifinals. She's excited.
Oh yeah, definitely.
No, Katie was battling a little bit of a cold earlier this week. A lot of the athletes just really feeling the heat here in beautiful, sunny Sort, Spain. I don't think any of us expected weather quite like this.
No, I came from the UK to here, and I was not prepared for the heat. I have been in rain every day. And
Abby Holcomb of the US looking to start things off with a McNasty. Working hard to retain the feature. Abby, 15 years old, from the USA, traveling around in an RV with her parents. Really has been working hard to improve her paddling this past 2 years, knowing she wanted a spot on this junior team. and knowing that she really wants to secure herself a spot in the semifinals, maybe even the finals or the podium.
Definitely. It's so cool to see her out here. I just remember
maybe going for a roundhouse on that little wave corner. Yeah, years ago, Abby.
Years ago, I was just by the side of the river coaching her in her first cadet competition, and now she's at World Championships.
I was talking to her mom, Kathy, about one of Abby's early experiences learning to kayak in the pool when one of the other juniors from the U.S. team, Riley's dad, actually flipped her over as a joke. Scared her so much she didn't get back in a kayak for 6 months. Glad to see she's gotten over that fear. But yeah, definitely introduce your kids slowly to kayaking. Let them take their time.
Luckily, I already had the kayaking bug, but I actually had a very similar experience with Dane Jackson when I was about 6. He picked me up and tried to put me in a bow stall and then just dropped me.
Oh, no.
Couldn't roll out. My mom ran down from the side of the river to roll me back up. And Abby getting a solid score right there.
Yeah, 200 something points on that second ride. Nice and consistent. 476 points combined. Coach Claire O'Hara, doesn't matter what team you're from, U.S., Australia, Great Britain. Claire has been out there all week coaching our young athletes. And now we've got Nell Barwich from Germany spinning it around, starting off strong, representing her hometown with that black, red, and yellow dry top. Keeping her composure, taking her time, going for the spin the other direction. Oh, unfortunately catching her stern edge, getting that little pop-up out of the feature. For all of you watching us from around the world, make sure you're sending in your support from at home. Send these athletes messages. We know you're watching and cheering for them.
It's extremely loud. You can hear it in the background, the amount of people cheering for this athlete. They're really getting behind her. It's so loud out there, isn't it, Anna?
I mean, I'm struggling to hear myself, so it is indeed.
They are so loud for this athlete. She's throwing it around, spent a lot of time in the feature. As we say, you can't score any points on the side. You have to be retained in the feature for these points to count.
And again, you can only score each trick once in each direction. So you'll see some of these athletes doing one spin, then maybe spinning it around a second time, making sure they scored the spin, or just setting up. But unfortunately, you only get points for one trick each way.
And the score comes in, 40 points, total of 50 points. Yeah, she's happy, she's smiling. Everyone's stoked for her to be part of this event. Team Germany has actually a really strong amount of athletes here participating as we round out that heat with Falkenhauser on top of the list there. 800. Katie really showing these ladies what you're going to have to do to knock her off the perch. That, I believe, looking at the scores, is probably going to be at the top of the leaderboard right now. Abby Holcomb-Hauser from Germany, Schumacher as well. We've got a lot of athletes that have come through there. And Alil there with 40 points from Great Britain. So, you know, that is probably going to be one of the hardest point scores to beat. So that's a whole lot of points for the junior ladies. And tell you what, it's a great amount of points for these ladies. They've done great. They're stepping up.
It's really incredible to see just, I think, the increase in the range and the number of paddlers, of junior women paddlers that are really have these bigger scoring tricks that we were originally only seeing in the senior women's or even the senior men's class. Keep in mind that those results were only for that particular heat. We are going live here. If you would like to see the full results, please check online on the icf.live.com. But for now, we're going to head over for an interview with one of our athletes.
All right, so Abby, your first World Championships, can you kind of run me through leading up to this, during team training, kind of what your strategy has been for training and your competition ride?
Yeah. So for the last week of team training, I've been focused on having fun, going out with my friends, paddling, working on my tricks, exploring sort. It's been amazing.
And can you kind of give us like your mental side? How are you feeling like before the competition? What are you thinking going into semifinal?
I was just trying to really focus on having fun because that's when I paddle my best. So resting and making sure my body was happy and everything, and just getting ready for tomorrow, or for semis.
Are you sure you're not a seasoned, like, multi-world champion athlete? Because I'm pretty sure you have this completely dialed.
Definitely not.
Well, congratulations, Abby, and we're excited to see you in semis, and good luck.
Thank you.
Yeah, super excited to see Abby Holcomb throw down. You can see that McNasty coming around nicely in her beautiful sparkling boat, glistening in the beautiful sun here in sunny Sort, Spain. Hey, Anna, what a great event. These junior women are just stepping it up.
Really, really stepping it up, and I know that I, for one, am really excited for their semifinal coming up later this week.
That's right. Later on this week, plenty of action coming your way. But I'll tell you what, please do not go anywhere. At 3:15, we are going to be starting things off with the OC1 semi-finals coming your way. Whilst we're here, we're going to check down the side of the river and check in with what's going on with Sage. Sage, what's happening down there, mate?
All right, so I have here a member of the jury, Tomislav. How has it been for you to watch the competition and see everything for World Championships come together?
I must tell you that this is my first time that I attend freestyle competition, and I'm very happy that this will happen here on beautiful Noguera Palarese River, the most beautiful nature wildwater stadium in the world for sure. I was actually come from wildwater canoeing, and I was very happy that I saw excellent women and men, junior, senior, tremendous loops and elements on this beautiful wave. And I wish all of you luck and very best and good competition.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you, Sage, for checking in down there, a member of the jury. It's not just, obviously it's all about the athletes, but there's also a lot of work and effort that goes on behind the scenes. And one of the jury there, he's actually one of the wild water disciplines chair and being part of this event, which is great to see. Hey, I'm just stepped in for Sage, but not only do we have the ladies crushing it, but I have to say, I'm going to give it up to the female announcing team who are just crushing the announcing right now. Anna Bruno, Sage Donnelly. We've got Lowry as well at the live venue, an all-female announcing team. Super excited to bring the action to you. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, please do not go anywhere, because at 3:15 Spanish time, we have the OC1 semi-final coming your way. We're going to be cutting to 5:10. We'll be cut to 5 very soon. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the 2019 ICF Freestyle World Championships coming your way. We'll see you soon.
today. We've already seen a lot of good paddles today, as well as a lot of these OC1 paddles will compete in the C1 category. We saw the previous earlier, and quite a few of these guys as well making it through to the semifinals of that. So real talented paddlers who know how to freestyle.
All right, welcome back to we are back in Sort, Spain, the 2019 ICF World Freestyle Championships. Moving on to our semifinals for the open canoe class here today. We have 9 athletes that have moved on to this round. Here we've got a number of countries represented here in beautiful Sort, Spain. It is sunny, it is hot, the water is refreshing. I'm here with Bartos. My name is Matt Hamilton. We'll be bringing you this semifinals from here on the shores of the river in Sort, Spain.
Hello world, and we're looking at the OC1 semifinals right now here from Sort. It's going to be really exciting watching the preliminaries for this round. It's going to be even more happening right now. So we've seen C1 in the morning. We just watched amazing performance of K1 Giron women, and now we're looking at OC1. We're going to see some big names in here and big tricks. So a quick reminder, OC1 is a category where the paddlers are kneeling, but they have an open deck, so there has to be at least 40 liters that can fit in that boat, so they're not allowed to wear a spray deck. So it's a lot of tactics, Matt, isn't it? You have to kind of like throw your strong tricks on a star, or is it better to do a small tricks? What have we been saying?
Well, we've seen both, Bartosz. We've been seeing some people, while their boats are still dry or empty of water, where they're dropping in and trying to do a bigger trick, and we've seen a few people dropping in trying to get some points on the board before they try some of those bigger tricks, but they risk filling their boats up with water. You're going to see a few different boat designs here. We've got a few homemade designed boats here in the OC1 category. It's pretty exciting, some of these guys putting this together. A lot of them also here competing in the C1 or the decked canoe class, which we saw earlier today. It's pretty amazing that these guys are doing both. One of the troubles with the OC1s, these boats are generally a little bit bigger. They're hard to travel internationally with. A lot of the airlines won't take the boats with them. So it has kind of hindered the class in the past. But here we have a full class, a number of boats. We've got a ton of countries represented and some great action for you here this afternoon.
Yes, it's going to be definitely exciting, as we are looking at top nine paddlers from all around the world. Actually, all of them competing in the C1, and most of them actually made it to the next round as well. So it's like kind of like a second clash we will be looking at. In the first hit, we're going to see Jean-Yves Moustreau from France. Then it will be Mark Goodbout from Canada, and Landon Miller from the United States of America, who is just cheering to everybody, saying hi to everybody who is cheering for him from US. Jonas Unterberg from Germany, and Adam Ramadan from Great Britain. So that's your hit number one. We will be starting just in 2 minutes.
Absolutely stacked heat here for our first heat, Bartosz. Amazing to see the diversity. We've seen Mark Godbout paddling both C1 and the OC1 from Canada. Amazing paddler. We've seen Adam and Ramadan in both classes as well. I don't know if he's going to show off that Speedo again. I can't see him at the moment, but he paddled in a Speedo 2 days ago for the OC1. I'm not sure I would do that. This water's pretty darn cold. Not my first choice of paddling gear.
It is beautiful and it looks amazing on the video, but actually, to be fair, a month ago when we got here, snow was still melting and it was freezing cold, so a school cap was obligatory. Now it got a little bit warmer, but a little bit warmer. It's still like 10 degrees only. We're having 40 degrees in shade here in Sword, Spain. So the difference is just so huge, and it's definitely another factor that's making competing even more difficult.
As you're saying, we are in the middle of a major heat wave here in Spain. I guess it's making the news back home in North America, where I'm from. I'm Canadian. Bartosz here from Poland. So we've got a multinational judging panel as well. We're all athletes that are checking in here to do a little bit of the announcing as well. We can see our judges panel there. Athletes getting ready in the eddy. Beautiful sunny day. It is absolutely stinking hot. I think I see clouds for the first time since I've got here. Maybe we'll get a little storm or rain later to cool things off here in Spain. Hiding up here in the announcing tents, our first competitor, Jean-Yves Mastrou from France, is about to drop into the feature. Take it away, Bartosz.
And here he goes. He's dropping in. He's kicking over the nice, beautiful loop. Oh my God, such an amazing opening for OC1. That's going to be definitely a high bar for others. And then he goes straight into spin to shove it. Oh my God. Well, he did get, look how much water he got under his first loop. He's pretty much sinking, barely being able to paddle, but he got his loop and the spin and the shove it. And that's how much it cost him. Like all the water pretty much popped in. And then we have a swimmer crowd is going wild. Well, it's interesting to see. I mean, like, that was a great run, a lot of points possibly, but then, well, it was just too full.
Absolutely. It looked like he's looking in the back of his boat there. It looks like maybe the flotation bag in the back of his boat. These canoers have to use inflatable flotation in their boat. Looked like his flotation bag may not have been properly inflated, or it popped or something when he was in on his ride, and that's why he was sinking in the back there. So making some difficulties for him. Hopefully he'll be able to fix that up. But huge score there, 100 points in his first ride. He'll be happy with that as he's emptying out his boat, looking up at the screen.
Yeah, 100
see
points.
What's going on.
100 points a lot. Look at it. We can have a look now at his boat, and it seems like it's not inflated at all. Hopefully it didn't pop or get destroyed. That would be such a shame in the middle of the run. But that was a great run. Definitely getting looped in OC1 is a big challenge. Well, we're going to see what Mark Goodbow is going to reply to that as he's dropping in from the top.
All right, Mark Godbout choosing to do an entry move with a big wing over, getting some points on the board right away at the beginning of his ride there as he brings it over the shoulder, getting a nice spin. He's going to try and do a shove it back in the other direction. Looks like he may have got that shove it. See what the judges have to say afterwards. Mark, a great guy, raft guiding on the Ottawa River, entertaining people all day. Just got back from the Rafting World Championships in Australia, showing that he is an amazing athlete doing all these different world's competitions as he's spinning it up, trying to do shove-its. Staying on the feature, he's going to go for that loop. Oh, catching a bit of an edge and bobbling off. Only 10 seconds left. He's going to save it for his next ride.
Yeah, Mark got some good tricks out there, some spins and shove-its, but I think by the end of his ride, he had too much water to get that loop. So that's the tactics we've been talking about just on the start, you know, like you might be able to throw a big trick, but it's going to cost you a lot of water in your boat, what Jean did. But if you go for a small and secure point, then by the end of the ride, you're going to have so much water, it's going to be really hard to do a trick. So that's exactly what happened with Mark. You could see on the replay, like his boat pretty much being around his lap. 50 points is a good, really good ride for us as well. But it's not enough to dethrone Jean from that first position. But obviously we have 7 more paddlers to go. So next one up is going to be Landon Miller, United States of America. I believe those are his first words, and he's pretty excited to compete here as he drops into the feature.
Landon Miller representing the USA now on the feature, catching a bit of an edge on his entry move, flushing off downstream. He's still got 40 seconds on the clock. Going to try and make his way back up into the hole here in Sword, Spain. This is our semifinals for the OC1 category here in Sword Spain. Top 5 guys through this competition will move on to a final later in the week as Landon Miller's back on the hole, getting a spin around there. Still 20 seconds left. Looked like he may have been trying to set up for a bit of a McNasty as he spins in the other direction. Getting a nice blast there, working his way into a back surf. Let's see what else. He's going for a lunar orbit, flushing out at the end. 5 seconds left. He won't make it back up to that feature.
That looked pretty good. So the combination he got there, I believe, was spinning around the word, which is spin to shove it, into spin into another shove it. And it's actually the only combination that's worth more points from link bonus than it is from actual tricks. So you would score 10 points for a spin and then 5 points for a shove it, but for each of them you would score 10 points as a link bonus. So link bonus is one awarded by judges when you go fluently from one move to another. So an example, spinning 360 degrees, getting a spin and getting another 180 into 180 with a shove it fluently with trying to link bonus on both of them. His final score coming 28-33. He's stoked. Possibly he didn't get all of the angles right, but he's still happy. And obviously has one more ride to go. We are looking at semifinals, which means riders are gonna have 2 rides of 45 seconds, but only the best one will count. So one of your rides can be not that good, and all you have to do is perform good enough on one ride to make it to the top 5.
Absolutely. All right, we got Jonas Uttenberg from Germany here as he makes his way up the eddy into the hole. You can see his boat, a bit of a homemade contraption there. They have to have a certain area that is open and 40 liters of water as he tries for a loop falling on his side.
That's going to be pretty tough to do moves now after getting rejected with the loop. You see his boat is really full of the water, so it's going really high on the foam pile. But here he goes for a spin into a clean spin, possibly looking for that small points, trying to get a shove it, really nice, into a shove it other direction, kind of rolling bonus maybe, but he manages to roll it up, but it's 2 less time. I think he's going to save his barrel for his second ride.
Absolutely, only 10 seconds left there for Jonas, so he's going to choose to wave off the rest of that ride, save his energy for his next ride. And there's the final buzzer for Jonas. Let's see that replay for him, catching a bit of an edge there on that loop try as he falls over on his edge. Rolling up in the feature. Jonas trying hard to get it going here in the OC1 category. Quite a difficult category to get the boats moving sometimes because they are full of water. Each liter of water weighs about 2.2 pounds or 1 kilogram, making it very difficult once they're full of water to really throw those moves around.
So the guys are doing definitely great effort throwing those boats around and showing off. Now we're going to look at the Adam Ramadan, who actually will paddle the speed as last time. I think he might be doing the same thing right now. Oh my God, the water is so chilly, so it's really brave now. He's on the right
There it is, you can
shoulder.
see that
He goes
speedo.
for McNasty. Oh my God, that was so smooth. McNasty. Definitely took a while to get the boat up. Unfortunately, he flashed quite far. Is he gonna make it? Is he gonna make it? No. Unfortunately, he's flushing down, which means that's gonna be the end of his ride, as he won't be able to make it up to the eddy.
That's right, Bartosz. We saw that speedo once again. He'll be back up at the top of the eddy for his second ride here in just a minute. Next up, we're going to be moving on to Heat 2 here. Or sorry, back to the top of our order with Jean-Yves from France.
Just waiting for Adam Stamp to get finished. Judges our own place. And I'm not sure if Jean-Yves will be ready as he flashed quite low. Hopefully he managed to fix his flotation bag. Definitely, here we have a score from Adam's first run, 0 points, but it doesn't mean anything. He's happy, he's climbing it. He has one more ride, so the second run is gonna matter for him way more. Waiting for Jean-Yves, he's actually chilling in the eddy, waiting for a thumb up from a head judge.
All right, waiting for Jean-Yves from France to make his way to the top of the eddy. His first run, he had 100 points. He's looking to capitalize on that, get a better ride here. Right away, spinning it around. Coming into a back surf, going for a McNasty. Not quite pulling it around vertical. So the judges may not score that. Hopefully his boat's floating a little bit better for him as he makes his way back up the eddy. Still has 30 seconds left on the clock. These riders getting 2 45-second rides here. You'll hear a buzzer at 10 seconds and then multiple buzzers at the 45-second mark to signal that they are done their ride. As Sean Eves is back on, trying for a bit of a cartwheel, rocking away as he flushes off. He's going to stick with that 100 points from his first ride, which was pretty solid with only 7 seconds left. We'll see him floating off downstream.
Yeah, definitely his ride was a really good 100 points. It's a good result, and it might be enough to secure a place in finals. So far he's on the lead, so if he were to keep it, given we have only 4 paddlers in the second hit, that would mean he will be in the top 5, making to the finals. But well, the time will tell. The paddlers still have second ride, so everything get changed. Yes, he keeps his first ride as we predicted, so we will be looking at Mark Goodwood from Canada coming down next. I believe he's going to start from bottom eddy. He's already waiting for a thumb up from head judge. Was there, his first run was 50 points, and he'll be definitely taking some risks to improve his position. So here we are.
Mark Godbout from Canada, hailing from the Ottawa River. Owl Raft Guide throwing a bit of a loop, or Space Godzilla there, as he works back over to the shoulder, getting a few spins. Oh no, trying to back it up. He's still got lots of time on the clock. Let's see if Mark can make it back up here. Get another one of those big moves on the board so that he can secure himself a spot in the final round later on in the week. Mark still 20 seconds on the clock as he makes his way up the eddy. See his fast cadence. He's still got 15 seconds as he makes his way right to the top of the eddy. Sliding, oh, missing the feature. Mark shakes it off. He knows he's got nothing left. Great job by Mark Godbout there, trying to get some points on in that big heavy boat full of water. All right, here's the replay of Mark's Space Godzilla right at the beginning of his ride. Let's see if he pulls it around. I'd say he got it pretty close to coming around.
Probably
awesome move to do here in an OC1 boat.
Definitely not an easy one. Look nice, look aerial. I mean, kicking that boat into the air is already a big effort, but we'll see whether the landing, well, it seems he didn't get that move as he scores only 10 points for his second round, meaning he's going to keep his first round result of 50 points. So currently he's sitting on a second place, which is also a really good place to be right now.
Absolutely. Mark's going to be happy with that second place. As you can see, he's upping his boat out over there. And we're moving on to our next competitor, Landon Miller from the USA, bib 209, dropping into the feature. Right away trying to get a spin going for a cartwheel maybe. Nice fast spins, throwing it around quick, unfortunately flushing off. Not sure if those ends went completely vertical, which you need to do, well, not completely vertical, but above 45 degrees to score as a cartwheel. As Landon, with 25 seconds left, makes it up to the top of the feature. Well, right in the middle, he's throwing he wants to sell those cartwheels, and there it is. That's what we want to see, those vertical ends. Oh, unfortunately flushing off again. He has 12 seconds left. Let's see if he's able to make it back up. He still has 8 seconds on the clock.
That's going to be really interesting because that's a good ride, a cartwheel, possibly a clean spin.
2 seconds. Not quite getting the feature. That'll be it for Landon.
That's this temptation when you see only a few seconds and you want to go in straight away, but you are not really focused enough to realize that you're actually slightly too low. Here we're looking at that initiation, but it might actually go into a clean spin, possibly, I would say. So that would be 20 points plus 30 points for a cartwheel. That would be 30 points in total. Given his first ride was around 30 points, he would probably hop in the ranks above Mark Goodbout. Of course, given he would get scored what we had seen 46-67. So unfortunately, something didn't get scored out there, and he's gonna sit in the third place right now.
All right, great ride from Landon Miller here from the USA.
And we are looking at Jonas Unterberg from Germany. Jonas just missed the C1 semifinals, so he definitely wants to perform really well in OC1, given its semi-final run now. Unfortunately, well, looking for a setup, he flashes on the shoulder. He's a lot of time. For sure, he'll be looking for a big trick. I think the loop would be something that he'll be looking for, because that would be putting him around the second place right now. But he has to get it really right now. Okay, he's on the top. He's on the top. Hopefully gonna make it. That's his chance. Oh no, he does a pigeon move, going really high up, but is sticking his head out and, well, flashing in that position. That's 10 seconds, but he's not gonna make it.
We used to call those big pop-up moves enders, and they did used to score points in freestyle, but that was back in the mid-90s, maybe dating myself a little bit there. As we see the replay of that big pop-up there.
That would be a beautiful ender, yeah. I remember they just took off ender from a scoring list when I was starting. So that was a while ago indeed. But you do score also technical points, so that'll be definitely a little bit easier. And for his second ride, he scores 0 points. So
All right, we've got Jonas there finishing up his ride. On deck, we've got Adam Ramadan from Great Britain for his second and final ride here in this semi-finals. We can see the other heat starting to get on the water as Adam makes his way up to this feature here in Sort, Spain. This is a very dynamic feature here. It's very fast. It's a little bit shallow in a few spots, so you might see some boaters hit the bottom. As Adam right onto the wave, spinning it around right away, showing off that speedo in the boat. The water is frigidly cold here, so a speedo might not be exactly what I would choose to go kayaking or even less in an open canoe. As he flips up stream there, catching a bit of an edge. He still has 25 seconds on the clock as he makes his way up. He'll have time for at least maybe one more move if he can get back up here to the feature. Great Britain team cheering him on here in Sort, Spain. This is the 2019 World Freestyle Championships with Abid Ramadan from Great Britain dropping in, trying for a loop. With only 3 seconds on the clock, he won't be making it back up there. That'll be it for Adam's second ride here. We'll see if he improved on his score from his first ride. He's putting his arms up in the air, trying to get the crowd cheering. You see some of those beautiful spins from Adam here in the replay. Catching a bit of an edge. Flip it under his boat there. Maybe trying to do a retained wing over in the hole. Awesome day here, Sort, Spain. We're in the middle of a heat wave. First clouds I've seen in days starting to roll through here. Expecting a little bit of a shower later on this afternoon. We'll see if that actually happens. All right, Adam catching a 0 on his first ride and 13.33 on his second ride. As of right now, that would put him in 5th place, still making it to the finals, but there's still 4 more competitors in Heat 2.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with Jean-Yves Mostro from France, currently sitting as a leader in the first place. Your opening of the ride was amazing. You got a bigger loop, then you got a spin. What happened next?
Just after it, I lose my airbag at the back, so I can't do anything. I just try to hold 2 times after I have no air, so I get out.
All right, well, it was interesting to see you swim after such a good ride, of course. So it has to be really difficult to paddle a boat with all this water inside?
Yeah, it's really hard because when water is inside, you can't do everything. You block on every move, so it's really hard. But really fun. Really fun.
Yeah, definitely. Well, great job. Currently, you're sitting on the first place, 4 paddlers in the second heat, meaning you already made it to the finals. So big congratulations. Are you gonna change your tactics a little bit? Is that a secret, or are you gonna tell us?
Maybe I can try a big magnesty for the final.
All right. Well, that's a good tactic. Well, hopefully it works for you. Well done, and see you in the final. Thank you.
All right, we're back up here getting ready for Heat 2. On deck we have Adria Bosch-Roca from Spain, Jordan Poffenberger from the USA, Jez from Australia, and Philip Joseph from Germany, rounding out Heat 2 here in our semifinal rounds of the Open Canoe class at the 2019 World Freestyle Championships. The action will be back on the water here in just a few minutes as we're waiting for judges to get ready for Heat 2 of this Open Canoe class. Make sure you're checking out some of the highlights here, and the action will be going on all week from Sort Spain. Tune in here on the live stream. We'll be on all day long, every day till Saturday night when we have our finals late Saturday evening right here under the lights from Sort Spain. right, here we are back for Heat 2 of the men's OC1 category here. Semifinal rounds. We've got 4 paddlers ready to go on the water for us here in this open canoe class. We've got Adria from Spain, Jordan from the USA, Jez from Australia, and Philip from Germany. These were our top 4 finishers in the preliminary rounds. So we're expecting some pretty hot action here from these paddlers on the feature. Sword Spain today. It is a hot one. Bartosz, how you doing over there?
It's good. It's really hot day, and especially with the emotions that's going bigger and bigger. We're watching the OC1. Quite a bit of shuffling in the order was happening right now, and currently we are having a leader with 100 points, Janis Musser from with 100 points from France. On second, Mark Goodwood from Canada with 50 points, and third place, Jonas Unterberg with 46 points, 7 points. However, everything can change. We have 4 more paddlers, and those are the ones who were actually on the top in the previous round. So will be really interesting to watch the show. And as we've seen, the time's up for Adria Bush. Adria Bush was first in the OC1 World Championships. I believe that was in Platlik. So, well, I'm really interested how he performs here in Sword, Spain.
As Adria drops in right away, he's trying to throw a loop, pulls it around. Definitely a difficult move here in that OC1 class. You can see those boats are open decked. They need to be able to hold 40 liters of water, and they actually test that as he spins around on the wave. A nice shove it, doing that 180-degree switch back, and then spin in the other direction, switching up his paddle blades there as he does a little bit of a back shove it, maybe trying there to do a little bit of a initiation to a phonics monkey. Not 100% sure. He's high in the pile there, using most of his time here as he tries to go for a split wheel, pulling it around, still on the wave. He's got 5 seconds left. Let's see what he's got for us. Going for a Felix, pulling it around, and that upside out 360. He's pretty happy with that, with a big fist pump. Spanish team is up on their feet, cheering him on.
I was just about to say that I bet he's going to do a Felix if he does all his tricks. And that was amazing ride. He got a loop, couple spins, couple shove-its, he got a split wheel, and then he was like, oh my God, what to do? Couple seconds? Felix. And I think that could be the first ever executed Felix on the OC1. That's like, I don't know, against everything, you know, you flip, you do 360 upside down, and then like how much water you have to get to your boat, and he still managed to stick it.
Well, I guess when they're upside down, it might get easier because he'd be dumping the water out of his boat. As we're watching the replay here, here's that Felix coming around, looking really solid as he rolls up in the hole. On deck, we've got Jordan Poffenberger from the USA. Adria pretty happy over there in what we're calling our kiss and cry area. Let's see his reaction as his score comes up, sticking his tongue out there for the camera. He looks happy with that ride. Worked hard for that one. These guys paddling the boats, these boats are open decked, which means they fill up with water. They have to be able to hold at least 40 liters of water, as well as have inflatable flotation in there. You can see in Jordan Poffenberger's boat there. You can see the inflatable bags in the boat as Jordan's getting warmed up and ready to go. And here we are, back to Adria. Let's see what his score is. Should be coming up soon from the judges. All right, we're just waiting for Adria's score to come in here, and then we'll be moving on to the American Jordan Poffenberger. See some of the athletes out there watching, checking out the action on shore. Everybody's here hanging out, checking out, trying to find the shade because it is absolutely blistering hot here. Taking a while to add up Adria's score, Bartosz. It must have been a high one.
Definitely a high one, and another interesting thing, it's been probably the most muscular, 165 points. 165 points, that's amazing reason for Adria. He's happy, he's pumping his face up in the air, and well, that's for sure putting him in the finals round. So that's gonna be really, really interesting. I think that's going to be really, really cool to see what others are going to show, because, well, I mean, Jordan, Jess, and Philip are great paddlers. Everything can still change.
Absolutely, Bartosz. Here we are with Jordan Poffenberger, a former world champion here in the OC1 category, going for a McNasty. Unfortunately, not pulling it right around and also flushing off the wave, but he's got lots of time, so we'll see him move back up to the feature. Still 30 seconds on the clock for Jordan from the US of A. We just saw him in the C1 category this morning, absolutely throwing down. Let's see what he's got in the open decked canoes for us this afternoon as he tries to get a few points on the board, getting a spin around there, maybe cleaning it up there as you saw him lift his paddle out of the water. As he moves over to the other shoulder, he's going to drop in for a nice, looks end around, so the judges will give it to him, and getting a spin in the other direction right at the buzzer. Great ride for Jordan Poffenberger.
Definitely a good one, but we're going to see whether it's going to be scored enough to make it actually to secure his place in the top 5. That was a really nice Magnus there. Unfortunately, execution pulled him out of the feature. Going for a loop here, not really letting that very straight. So he might need a second ride to improve, but those are speculation. But actually, I'm quite right as he scores only 11.7 points. But he still has a second round. The result for this one doesn't really matter. So currently, to make it to top 5, you have to score 50 points. Jordan sits with 11, and next one is Jess. He was really stoked with getting his second place in that category. He's a legend as he's like leader of the announcers and making sure everything runs nice and smoothly. But he's also a great C1 paddler. He competed today morning, and well, now he is in semifinals of OC1. Definitely always enjoying it, and now he drops to the feature.
Jez dropping in from the top, going for that wing over for entry move points. He's got 40 seconds left still on the clock here as he's trying to get things started and moving around those big heavy open boats as he spins it around, getting some points on the board. Ooh, catching a bit of an edge, moving himself into the center of the foam pile. He's going to go for something big here as he sets up. Nice big blast into the middle of the hole. Unfortunately, doesn't score any points for him, but definitely trying to set up, spin in the other direction. There it is, cleaning it up.
Yeah.
Looking for some of those clean bonuses. He's got 11 seconds left. Let's see what he's got for us. Trying to get his nose down. We're gonna see Jez 5 seconds on the clock. He's trying to work in that boat around, trying to get it up high on the foam pile, get something started, and he knows that's it for this first ride here. He's got one more ride in the semifinals to secure himself a spot in the top 5 for finals.
Oh, that was a beautiful entry move. Definitely he's going to get some extra points for that. Good tactics to throw an entry move in OC1, but you have to get it really nicely. And given in his head possibly and the experience, he's able to bring that boat really high, so possibly not really getting that much water inside. So a great run from Jess. We're still waiting for the score to come in. To secure his spot in final for sure, he needs to score 50 points at the moment, so we'll see if he's gonna be able to do that. Waiting for the results to come in, waiting for the next paddler, who's gonna be Philip Joseph, current leader after the preliminaries. I think he just missed a semi-final in C1. Oh my god, massive score from Jess, 73 points. He's fist pumping the air and he's super stoked making well, he actually made sure that we're going to see him in the next round in the final. So we already looking at Janev and Adrebosh and Jess, our 3 finalists. But what's up with Philip and Jordan? We're going to find out very soon as Philip just drops to the feature.
Philip drops in with a huge loop right off the bat, throwing that boat right around. You're doing that cross bow to get the spin around. Nice and snappy. Right away getting some big points on the board. Oh, and unfortunately a little bit of a flush there. He's going to make his way. He's still got 28 seconds on the clock as he moves his way up to the top of the eddy to try and get a few more points. Dumping a little bit of water out of his boat, pushing his hip pad back in there, trying to keep it together with 17 seconds left on the clock. He drops back into the feature. He's got time for a couple more big moves. Let's see what he's got. I think he was trying maybe to set up for a McNasty, though. Leaks it into a spin. And maybe a shove it. He looks like he's trying to get it standing up on a McNasty. And that'll be it for Philip's first ride here in the semifinals.
That was definitely a good run. Great opening with the loop, a couple of spins on the board. Hopefully the judge is going to score because it looked good. It looked good and solid. Landing might be slightly off, but well, we'll see it live. It looked definitely really nice. So if he only scores more than 50 points, he will be sure to be competing at final round. And it was just the first round, so we're going to be looking now at back to double. 110 points, moving up to the third position. A great run from Philip. He will be stoked. He's a current finalist of World Championships. He's actually second now behind Adria Bosch, who's leading with 165, and Philip Joseph 110, and third place Jean-Yves Moussereau. Well, definitely great top three, followed by Jess. So, well, the only question, the only person that can still change the people who are in final is Jordan, who's currently having only 11 points, but obviously, like, well, it's one ride away and only one ride counts, so we'll see what Jordan has prepared. But right now we're looking at Adria Bosch from Spain.
Absolutely, Adria currently still in the lead, but we're seeing some amazing rides being thrown down by these paddlers in the second heat of the men's semi-final OC1 category, or the open canoe or open decked canoe category. Next up, we're at the top of the order for the second runs of this heat with Adria from Spain, as he gets the thumbs up from our head judge, Mr. Paul Shepard from Great Britain. And this is Adria's hole for the next 45 seconds, and he's now on the feature right away, going for a big
oh my God!
All right, Bartosz, that was amazing. We're not seeing many McNasties from these open boaters, but there is one as he tries to get the spins going in the other direction, and there they are.
Not at all, and that was amazing executed. Magnassi here already got a spin and a shot. But this boat seems to be perfect for OC1 somehow. I don't know why, but it just works really well. He's trying to hold this ball with his offside hand, clearing that. Oh my God, looking for Felix. Oh my God, that's such an amazing run. If he only gets that loop, then well, that might be too much water, but still 10 seconds. He tries again, plucks deeply, unfortunately getting rejected. 3 more seconds. Well, that was amazing ride from Adria Bosch, and well, excited to see whether he manages to actually improve his score from first run.
Yeah, Adria, our current leader with 165 points, looking to get a better run in here in the OC1 category. Let's see what he has. Looking on the live screen, there's that Felix as he moves back up onto the top of the foam pile. Here's that McNasty they threw right off the bat. Pulling it around, it's a little off access. Let's see what the judges have to say. I think he pulled it around, but that's up to the judges, not to me. They've got a different angle on what's going on down where they are, but it looked pretty good up here to us in the judging booth. Let's see what the scorer has to say about it. And there's beautiful spins and initiates that Felix.
It's actually a clean Felix, possibly, you know, like he doesn't use his paddle for a rotation. However, the question is whether he completes 180 degrees while being upside down. 173 points for Adria, and he improves his ride, making sure he stays on that lead for now. A great result for local boy.
Absolutely, the Spaniard in his home country, Adria, showing that he wants to keep the lead, with Jordan Poffenberger back up next, bib number 210. He's hailing from the USA here. He's here with his dad and his wife.
Yeah, that's probably the most important right now, because he's the only one who can move people out. So London seems Mark Goodberg seems he's in the final now. So it's Iter turn. Oh my God, and he's clearing it up. I think that was a nicely executed by McNasty. So probably. Oh, well, that was just getting a bit risky whether he scores that, but it looked really good. If he gets that scored, definitely he's into the next round. But he still has 25 more seconds, so he's fighting his way back in to make sure he gets some extra points on top of that.
That's right, Jordan dropping in here with 18 seconds left on the clock. Right away, he tries for that loop, backing it up. Unfortunately, I think he's gonna maybe flush. No, he's still there, just floating right on the bubble. Not sure how he's staying in there, but he's got 3 seconds left. Let's see, he initiates that loop right at the buzzer. Does he pull it around? I don't know that he got it there, Bartosz.
Well, it looked good. It was amazing. It was like 10 seconds just in the bubble, just behind the feature. I have no idea how he managed to retain there. I would like to be able to do that. It's a very useful skill for sure. It looked really cool, and I don't think that loop is going to score, but if he gets the McNasty, then he's into the next round. And I think that's the biggest question right now, and especially people looking at that are going to be Mark Goodwood and Landon Miller, because they are the ones who are sitting there on the bubble. So we've had 56-67. He moves to the 4th place, securing his place in the final, meaning Mark Goodwood makes it, but Landon Miller actually, unfortunately, gets knocked out by Jordan. So we are already looking at Jess, who is for sure in the final, and Philip Joseph just after him. They both secured their places. So we already know who's gonna be in the final, but we don't know the order. Jess hopefully has something prepared. He's right 73 points. I have to say it's really impressive. And well, I mean, his entry move is really good. So we're gonna see, can he improve it? A nice entry, sticking just on the top of my head. Yes, I get it. I think, well, wondering what he's gonna show us now. Looking for a possibly a shove it or trying to get on top of the foam pile. Either of those. Spinning that boat, using his hand to get it around. Nice and smooth, taking his time. Into a shove it, making sure the boat goes into full 180. Nice body bow to get that spin around and a shove it. Oh, that's going to be a really good scoring ride as well. And 10 seconds on the buzzer. Well, that's a time to take some risk. I bet he's going to try for a McNasty. Oh no, he actually cleans the spin up. Well, those are the tactics we've been talking about. It's small tricks that makes the difference. Well done, Jess. He's so happy. I could hear his scream here.
Absolutely, Jess screaming it out there, showing that he's happy to be here in Sword Spain, competing in the Open. All right. Bartosz is going to head down to what we're calling the mix zone to do a few interviews with paddlers as we watch the replays here of Jez from Australia, showing us some amazing spins and tricks here in his OC1. Loving the entry moves from Jez, getting the points on the board right off the bat in his runs, using all of his time. He gets 70 on his second ride. He's going to stick with his first ride of 73.33, which is securing him a spot in our final round later this week. He's pretty excited about that, doing a little happy dance down there in the eddy. Clapping his hands together. He's excited. Jez, definitely personality around here. He's been doing the opening ceremonies, announcing a bunch of the classes. You'll hear him on the live stream throughout the week here with myself, Bartosz. We've got a couple of the ladies. Anna Bruno is on, as well as Sage Donnelly, Laurie Davies from Great Britain. So we got a great announcing crew. All of us are athletes competing throughout the week as we get Philip Joseph dropping in for his second and final ride here with a massive loop. 40 seconds still on the clock. He's got lots of time to get a bunch more moves. It looks like he's setting up for a McNasty, not quite getting it, flushing off the back of the wave. He's still got 28 seconds left on the clock, so he's going to charge his way back up to the top of this eddy, trying to dump a bit of water out of his boat as he's making his way up. Lots of time still on the clock. Let's see what he has for us here as he attains his way back up into the hole. Brand new hole here in Sword Spain, just built this year, finishing up construction just over a month or so ago. It is an amazing venue and feature for freestyle, and it will build a legacy here in Sword Spain of freestyle as Philip flushes off downstream. He'll probably stick with his first ride, which will be moving him on to the finals. But let's see what his score is here in just a second. Here's the replay of that massive loop that he started off with here in that open decked canoe class. Then he went for a McNasty. As you can see, he didn't quite pull it around. Loving the boom cam shots here for the replays, giving us a great angle to see if these paddlers are completing those moves. If you're out there in the internet land and you want to give us a shout out, tag ICF Freestyle Sort 2019 or ICF Freestyle, and we'll check you out. Getting 90 points on that ride, he'll take his first ride of 110 points. Great ride from Philip Joseph from Great Britain. Amazing. You see our awesome feature, the Pyrenees Mountains in the background. Here's our score sheet from that heat. Adria with 173, Philip Joseph 110, Jez 73.33, Jordan Poffenberger with a 56 coming in. All of those guys, I believe, are going to be moving on to our finals with Mark Godbout from Canada. Those are unofficial results. I haven't seen the official results sheet yet, but from what I can see here, that's the way it's going to be for our top 5 in the finals here in beautiful Sort, Spain. Amazing town here. Everything's close by, easy walking. And we're going to go down to Bartosz here in the mix zone.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with Philipp Josef from Germany. So you just made it to the final in OC1. How does it feel?
It feels good, thank you. I hope I can change a bit for the McNasty or the Felix for the finals for tomorrow. So, yeah.
All right, so you're saying you have a different tactics for the finals. That's really exciting. Hopefully it works for you. How do you find our Whitewater Stadium, the future? Is the whole good, you think? Is it good for OC1?
Well, I think for C1 it's a bit so tricky, but for the OC1 it's good.
All right, well, that's really interesting statement. I really like your loop for opening. It seems to be really consistent. For the finals, are you gonna keep it as your first trick or are you gonna change it?
No, I think I keep it for the finals.
All right, well, thank you, Philipp, so much and best of luck in the next round.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Bartosz, down there in the mix zone, closing it out for the day here. Beautiful day. Oh, we had the C1, then the women's junior classes, and then finishing up with the semifinals for the OC1. As we're seeing a lot of tree pollen fluff blowing around here, make me feel like I'm back at home in Canada with, it looks almost like it's snowing right now. There's so much tree fluff blowing around. This amazing weather. Bit of breeze today. First clouds we've seen all week. It's been an amazing heat wave here in Sort, Spain. The action will be heating up on the wave all week long here as we move from our preliminaries on to finals. Tomorrow all day we will have the men's preliminary rounds. Last I saw we had 68 athletes on the start sheet, including myself. Matt Hamilton from Canada will be here with that action, live stream to the world, starting tomorrow morning. All right. Beautiful shot of the feature from our boom cam here. That's actually the feature just above the main feature. You can see the beautiful blue mountain water here. It is ice cold. You can see in some competitors going skin to wind, some people even wearing dry suits on the other end of that spectrum. It is a gorgeous day here, as you can see.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with Juan José Ron Magnas, president of Spanish Canoe Federation, and it is a great honor for us to be here. What does it mean for Spain, for Spanish Canoe Federation, to host such a big event?
Para nuestra federación y para el pueblo de Sort, para la ciudad de Sort, creemos que es una gran oportunidad el poder acoger unos campeonatos del mundo como ya se han acogido en otras ocasiones los campeonatos europeos. Esto nos da un gran reconocimiento a nivel internacional y a la vez posiciona a nuestros deportistas, al equipo nacional, dentro del contexto internacional que, bueno, los resultados se podrán ver a lo largo del campeonato, pero que ya venimos con un buen bagaje, con títulos de campeón de Europa y campeón del mundo en nombre del Kim Fontané.
Yeah, the president said that it's an honor for the Spanish Federation and the town of Sort to host the World Championships. Also, it's a great opportunity for the Spanish athletes to compete on the best level in our location. And also, the fact that we have world champions in our team, it's making us more satisfied to run the event and try to push them to get better results in the future.
All right, thank you so much. Well, it's definitely been a lot of effort to build such a stadium, and for us, the result is great. What is your opinion? Do you like such a place? Maybe in future we'll see more of them in Spain?
Bueno, hay que contar en primer lugar que estamos en un medio natural en el que cualquier actuación supone pues, las autorizaciones de muchas instituciones. Yo creo que en este caso se ha logrado, el objetivo de tener un estadio permanente se ha logrado y el objetivo también en un futuro se logrará, que es dejar un legado para el mundo de las aguas bravas.
Yeah, the president says that it has been very hard and tough to have all the permits, but finally we got it, and for the future that will help to develop other spaces like that around Spain.
Well, those are definitely great news for us as freestyle kayaking, and thank you so much, muchas gracias, for the interview.
All right, thanks everybody. That concludes our day here at the 2019 ICF Canoe Freestyle Championships. We'll be back tomorrow with some amazing actions with the men's K1 preliminaries. We got 68 athletes. They're going to be cutting to a quarterfinal round of 20 athletes and then on to 10. And then the finals of 5. Tomorrow's action, semifinals. Matt Hamilton signing off here from beautiful Sort, Spain. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.
Dane Jackson, well, you competed in C1 today, and you made it to semi-final. Well, obviously, you win on the end, and you're a greatly experienced paddler. Given you've been second in K1 in Argentina, possibly your appetite is really big for this year. Do you have any special tactics for this feature? Are you going to go full on straight away, or are you going to build it up? Can you share your secrets?
No, I'm definitely not sharing my secrets. No, it's basically this feature is it's kind of tricky. It's kind of cool because it's pretty much you have to go move to move, and trying to link a bunch of stuff together can sometimes work, but then sometimes you'll flush on your first trick. So it keeps it exciting, and you definitely have to be on your game if you're going to stick a good trick.
Well, you definitely did great in both C1 and OC1, C1 and K1. Sorry. What do you think? What that spot is better for? Is it good for both, or is it some things are easier in one of the categories possibly?
It's hard to say. I've been struggling a little bit in the C1 this week. I'm not sure why, but I would say that both have their challenges. C1's a little tricky because it's super easy to flush sometimes, and then K1's the same thing. But yeah, they're just a tricky feature for both, and it's exciting for both for sure.
All right, thank you, Dane, so much, and best of luck in next rounds. Pleasure to be with Jordan Poffenberger. You just made it in OC1 to the next round. You are in the next round in C1. Well, amazing results, definitely. What you have prepared for, I don't know, finals in OC1? Are we going to see something new? Because, well, I was a little bit worried after your first ride, to be honest.
Yeah, this competing in semifinals didn't go quite as well as I had hoped, but hopefully in finals I can pull out some of the bigger tricks, and if I can get my bigger tricks in the first ride or two, yeah, maybe you'll see something new.
So it seems that getting a big trick on the beginning of the ride is really important in OC1. Is that because of the water you have in your kayak later?
Yeah, you pretty much have one shot to get air. And at the moment you've done that first trick, whether it was a huge, like McNasty, or whether you window shaded and flipped over, that's it for aerial tricks. Now you can do all your lower tricks, but it gets a lot harder when the boat fills up with water.
All right, that makes totally sense, and definitely is an easy thing. Well, comparing it to the C1, because I heard somebody, Philip Bielzev was actually saying it's easier for OC1 than for C1. Would you share that opinion?
I probably would say not really. I probably would disagree with that. I think because this feature is so tall, it's such a big, like, fluffy foam pile, the moment you get in it, the clock starts and you start filling up with water. So like if you get in there and you side surf for a second, you've got a lot more water in your boat. Whereas in C1, you don't have to worry about that issue.
All right, well, coming back to the C1 topic then. Well, you're definitely one of the most creative paddlers out there, and we know you have a range of the tricks that I have no even idea how to initiate given other people. So are we gonna see some of your special tricks possibly in the next round?
I hope so. Hopefully in finals I get, I'm kind of saving some of the bigger tricks for the last round. So yeah, hopefully you'll get to see some the tricks like the Vader flip and the Jedi flip and such. And yeah, I'm excited to pull those out, and hopefully they work here.
That would be really amazing. Well, that was Jordan Poffenberger, who proceeded to the next round in C1 and OC1. Thank you guys for today. That was day number 2 at World Championships. We're moving on. Stay in tune for tomorrow. K1 Man, a big day. Thank you.